let's start with Wednesday's ACC SEC Challenge, where Nate Oates and the Crimson Tide at Alabama take on Hubert Davis and the North Carolina Tar Heels, two programs with hopes of making deep tournament runs this year. Jae'Lyn, talk to me about what you've seen from this Alabama team so far this season.
I've seen the ability to win when Mark Sears having a bad game, and the ability to play good with Mark Sears having a bad game.
Great take, dude. Great take. That was phenomenal. I'm sorry, continue, bro.
You look at the Oregon game, Mark Sears had a bad game, they lost, but they still played a good game. Illinois is where I think he went scoreless. Maybe he had 2 points at the free throw line. It was something crazy. Colin Boswell shut him down, but he might have went 0 for 11 or something like that, actually. But they still able, they beat us 100 to 87. They found ways to win with Mark Sears putting up some stinkers, because that's not them two are his only bad games this season. That when I look at this Alabama team, that's just what I see, like a team that is able to win with Mark Sears having a bad game, and that's not really what I saw, at least during the tournament run last year. At times last year, Mark Sears wasn't the most consistent, but especially during the tournament, they were relied on him, and that's kind of what I feel like they were trying to do this season so far. But I feel like they're going to find out, okay, yeah, Mark Sears can have a bad game, we can still win.
Well, I love it.
Great take, bro. Just alley
Yo,
hey,
phenomenal.
Do you have any commentary to add to this take though, Keji?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think he talked about some of the others like LeBron Filons. His playmaking ability, I think, is going to be very key to this game. Have we seen Nate Oates graduate as it pertains to coaching? Now, seriously, because there were points in the past. I'm like, is this guy is he a legit top 10 coach in the sport?
Yeah.
But
I think he is legit.
It might be graduation season, bro.
I think he might have graduated a little bit. So I really like what I see out of this Alabama and Houston team. And I know they have losses, and we want to celebrate the teams that are undefeated. But like Jae'Lyn say, when your best player can play like trash and you're able to win, that's scary. That's going to bode well. That's giving those players confidence.
During the season, yes, they're going to go look back on those games and say that, when we needed him the most, if he's struggling.
Oh, for sure.
If he's struggling, we still can hope on an Indiana, Illinois game. But we can still put up a hundo and get it from other pieces. So yeah, that's fire. Jae'Lyn, look like you was about to say something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we can't say the same thing for UNC though. When they best player having a struggle game,
who's their best player?
What's going on?
Who's their best player?
I already know who you're gonna say.
Who's their best player? I don't think it's RJ Davis, bro.
Well, if UConn can get the respect thing, I think RJ Davis get the respect.
RJ Davis can certainly get the respect thing because of his body of work. I love that parallel. Jae'Lyn said, "Listen, let's keep it apples to apples. Goddammit. I love it." Let me talk about UNC a little bit. But go ahead. I feel like Jalen's about to add something.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be mad at Seth Trimble being their best player. I definitely could see the argument and definitely see the reason why. But when I look at this team, I'm just like, RJ Davis is a guy that is a volume scorer. Seth Trimble is good, but when you look at it, I feel like Elliot Cadeau, not Elliot Davis. Elliot Cadeau is really the only playmaker or playmaking threat that I'm thinking of, like at least playmaking for others. And I feel like that's a hindrance to this team. I feel like their rebounding is not as good. And like when I look at this, like Hubert Davis, if I'm not mistaken, they've had 19 losses against unranked teams in his tenure. Crazy.
Take your foot off the gas, man. You're gonna get toasted every time.
Wow.
Every time.
That's a great stat. And to add to what Jae'Lyn said, as the old saying goes, while big man play historically has won an NBA, guard play is what wins it at the collegiate level. We talked about RJ Davis, we talked about Seth Trimble, we talked about Elliot Cadeau. They provide some of the best guard play in the sport. Now, speaking candidly, RJ Davis isn't shooting the rock well at all. I don't know what's going on with them. Go ahead, Jae'Lyn. I know you got something to add.
Oh no! I was just gonna say, he's volume scorer. That's what he is. He's gonna need some good. He's gonna need a lot of shots sometimes to score a lot of points.
Yeah, he's so inefficient. You remember when analytics kind of first arrived in the NBA? He's been in baseball for forever. Everybody was talking about how inefficient Allen Iverson and James Harden were, because in order to score, they have to take a high number of shots.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wish he was more efficient.
Can I ask you this? Is this the get right game for RJ Davis though? Because who do you hide Mark Sears on?
You can't. I don't know.
Because you don't want to hide him on Seth Curry.
No,
Nah, you don't. And you don't want to put him on Elliot Cadeau either.
because that's even more interesting.
Yeah, so, and speaking of which, Elliot Cadeau is a premier guard. The knock on him last season was his inability to shoot. Well, guess what? This season he's shooting at 37%, and he's averaging 2 steals per game. I think his games translate better than both R.J. Davis and Seth Trimble at the next level. I think he will be able to plug and play easier in the NBA because his ability to create for others. And if he can still shoot it at a decent clip, he will get decent amount of minutes as a rookie in the NBA, in my opinion. Team-wise, points off of turnovers is the key analytic stat for North Carolina. When we look at these metrics, they got to improve upon them. In the games that they lost, not only did they lose the turnover battle, they also lost the battle off of turning turnovers into points. And I don't want to jump the gun, but y'all probably already got an idea who I think will win this game.
Prediction time. Who wins? Jae'Lyn.
I just think it's Alabama. When I watch UNC against really good teams this year, they've got down a lot and then they've had to fight back. Kansas is the one game that when you think of the Dayton game is another game. They choked the game against Michigan State. They got down a lot against Auburn. I don't know. It's like I look at this game and I'm like, okay, playing another good team. You lost to basically all the good teams that you played. It's not looking good for you. I'm choosing Alabama. Like they showed they showed their ability to win with their best player struggling. They showed that they can show up against good teams like Houston, for example, like Illinois, for example. I got to take them. Like I think it's the obvious answer.
I rock with it. I just don't trust the volume shooting of RJ Davis, and I don't think it was going to be enough in this game. And I think ultimately Nate Oates, he going to get his badges today. He going to get one of the badges in this game.
I agree.
Who you going to look at?
I agree with you both. I think they win this game. I think Nate Oates will outcoach Hubert Davis. I'm going to really be paying close attention to the LeBron Philon and Elliot Cadeau matchup. That's who I want to see going at it. Jae'Lyn knows I prefer those type of point guards over the high volume scoring point guards, even though that's what I was. That's why a lot of times I had to play the off guard. But like I said, this is going to be a beautiful game. RJ Davis and Mark Sears is going to be interesting looking at them because kind of similar players. But like I said, I think Nate Oates will outcoach Hubert Davis in this one.
Rapid fire, Jae'Lyn. Who shoots better from the field, RJ Davis or Mark?
That's a good question.
I'm gonna say RJ.
RJ? Cool.